Moi, j'ai été excisée à l'âge de 11
I underwent excision when I was 11.
que l'excision,
Excision is a traditional practice in the society where I grew up, in
dans
Mali.
la société malienne. En tout cas, c'était pas facile ce jour-là.
It was a terrible
Il y a deux
day.
personnes qui
A person grabs you by your arms, another person holds both of your feet, and the exciser goes to work.
l'excision, elle passe à l'action. Mais moi, c'est que je n'ai
I still can't forget it.
après
After being cut, you scream and cry. She told me, "You're a big girl now. You'll be able to pee soon. It'll be fine."
ça va aller. Cette phrase, je ne suis pas.
I'll never forget it, and I don't ever want my children to hear those same words.
Donc, moi, en tout cas, ça, c'est une lutte pour moi. Parce que après avoir
Afterwards, it was so painful to pee that I retained my urine, and I still continue to suffer from urinary retention now.
toute ma vie,
I can't lead a normal life. I'm traumatized just thinking about it every
tout
day.
le jour, je suis traumatisée à l'idée de ça. J'ai eu mes règles à 12 ans.
I got my period when I was 12, and the menstrual pain began.
Moi, le
It gave me back pain.
au niveau de mon dos, je ne sais pas comment je vais décrire cette douleur.
I can't even describe the pain. It was so unbearable that I stayed in bed all day.
Rester la journée couchée. Je peux pas manger.
I couldn't eat. I couldn't do anything. They unjustly ruined my life.
À quel moment j'ai réalisé?
I realized the extent to which they destroyed my life once I got married.
La nuit de noces, ça n'a pas été
My wedding night was very difficult.
déjà, bon.
Losing one's virginity is not always easy, but I automatically got an
J'ai été
infection.
victime d'une infection automatiquement. Donc, ce qui fait que nous, dans notre tradition,
According to our custom, the bride spends a week in the nuptial chamber.
coucher dans leur chambre,
You don't go out, you remain in bed, they bring in your meals, and they do everything for
la
you.
douleur était tellement intense.
But on the third day, my pain was so severe that my husband had to ask his mother and his aunts for permission to allow me to see a doctor.
Un médecin. Donc, c'est suite
We went to see a gynecologist who explained that the reason I was suffering so much was because I had undergone second-degree excision.
forme 2, c'est à cause de ça que tu souffres comme ça. Donc, en tout cas, c'était pas trop facile. Je n'ai pas pu bénéficier.
I wasn't able to experience any pleasure on my wedding night because in the bedroom, I saw my husband as a
Dans la
monster.
chambre nuptiale, je voyais mon mari comme un monstre. Donc, c'était pas du tout de...
It was a tough situation, but I'm so grateful. After hearing the doctor's explanation, he understood.
Le médecin, lui aussi lui a expliqué. Donc, il m'a beaucoup
Ever since, he's always been supportive and shown empathy.
envers moi depuis ce temps jusqu'à maintenant. Je peux pas faire un mois
I get monthly
sans
infections.
d'infection. Ce n'est pas possible
I live with this on a daily basis.
avec ça. Les pertes,
I have white and yellow secretions constantly. It's not easy.
donc c'est pas facile. Avec l'accouchement,
Childbirth is an ordeal.
moi,
I gave birth to my first child in Mali. Our doctors are used to this since all the women have been cut.
mais les deux,
My two other children were born in the United States, and it was hard because the doctors aren't accustomed to treating such cases.
mais c'est quelque chose de nouveau dans leur médecine. Et à un moment,
At one point during labor, my heart rate was so fast that I was shaking like someone having an epileptic
comme
fit.
quelqu'un qui fait une crise d'épilepsie. Alors que c'est pas ça.
But it wasn't that.
C'est trop douloureux.
It was the pain.
Amener ça. Tu es déchiré dans tous les sens. Hein.
I had many tears all over the place.
C'est pas agréable.
After giving birth, you can't even sit down. It's not a pleasant experience at all.
Pas agréable du tout. Ma troisième grossesse,
For my third pregnancy, I became incontinent.
donc, oh, c'est honteux.
It's so embarrassing. I couldn't retain my urine. I felt so ashamed.
J'ai eu tellement honte de moi.
Luckily, it lasted only a week, thank God. I felt so humiliated.
C'est trop honteux, c'est désagréable. À mon âge,
At my age, having to change baby diapers and deal with my own incontinence wasn't easy.
donc, il y a
There are so many complications. It's unjustifiable to destroy a life like that. I have 2 daughters. I've decided to take a stand. I don't want this to happen to my children. I'm determined to do everything I can to protect them. That's why I wanted to give birth in the U.S. Excision isn't generally done at an early age, so after I returned home, every time the issue came up, I'd say, our children are American and it's a crime there. Even if they're in Mali, if you force them to undergo excision, it can cause problems for us in the U.S. But they wouldn't accept the idea. I realized that if I did nothing, my girls would be cut. So I said, I'm out of here. I asked my husband's permission and he said, go ahead. If it's for the children's well-being, you must leave with them. That's when I came to Canada. When I came to Canada, I asked for asylum to protect my children from excision. At first, my case was rejected, but I appealed and I was accepted. My family has rejected me because I'm categorically against this practice, but I'm at peace because my children won't have to undergo it. My children are safe where I live now. I've traveled a lot. I meet women who haven't undergone FGM and who enjoy life. Why should someone ruin other children's lives in this way? It's so harmful. It hurts me to know girls continue to suffer each day and lose their lives for no justifiable reason.